Actually, if we're gonna run more than one, you mind doing giving us all of those? Got them. Actually, if we're gonna do all.
Which ones? I'm sure it's fine, but which
the whole
ones?
String. Well, I'm assuming you're gonna do the whole string there in the forest, right?
Yeah, probably.
You can do it as we get there. That's no biggie. Thank you.
Alright, cool. Looks like I am live. Hello, and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/DungeonsandDragons/live, and Facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. I am DDO's Community Manager Cordovan. I am on Orion for the next 2 weeks. I thought it was a heroic level character, but I was wrong. I lied to you with lying lies last week when I said I was heroic on Orion. I actually logged in to get my character ready and was like, oh, I'm ready to take 20. So I am now level 20. I am into the epics, just starting my journey into the epics on Orion. So I'm in Evening Star. I'm going to run Impossible Demands, basically the first chain of the Caught in the Web flagging. Sorry about that. For those of you who were like, I wanted to join you on my heroic, but I was like, well, I could just sort of keep at 19, but since this is my highest level character on Orion, I really would like to be up there, so. Can I get all 4 quests done in an hour? We shall see. Ah! As I die before I even get there, huh? Alright. Good point. I should get myself some potions. There we go. Tell us your avatar name. My avatar name is Mockduck. M-O-C-K-D-U-C-K. The basic one that I do pretty much for all the characters when I can't think of something better. I don't know. I just go with it. Hey Draculetta, nice to see you here. I do have a full group here, by the way, for those who are looking to get in, sorry.
If I am such a mighty mage as some say, what need have I of help? Well, even the powerful cannot do all things in all places at once.
The Midler farmhouse has seen better days.
I'll get myself some potions.
Anyone deadly?
Menacingly over an injured purple dragon knight.
So I had just mentioned this on the forums, but for those of you who didn't catch that yet because you haven't had a chance to look, I did drop the word that we are currently working on getting update 36 patch 2. We're still working on development of it, so it's not ready for Lamania yet, but we're getting there. Our hope is to perhaps by the end of next week have update 36 patch 2 on Lamania. And that is going to be the cleric domains, the favorite soul work, and a bunch of bug fixes ahead of Ravenloft. So, it should be cool. And like I say, if everything goes well, we'll kind of have to see how development goes in the coming, well, I guess 4 or 5 days. And assuming that all works out, we should hopefully have update 36 patch 2 on Lamania, like I said, by the end of next week. And then we'll be ready to release it, you know, within a relatively soon time frame after that. All right, well, give this a try, huh? I guess we'll. Do we feel that we could just try the beatdown?
Where is it? The priestess demands.
Sure.
Do not play games, fool.
I'm afraid. Gosh darn it. I ain't afeared. So, that's probably the big news. Otherwise, let me actually double check the bonus this weekend. I thought I knew what it was, but now I'm not 100% sure. So I don't want to get it wrong.
The priestess's wounds vanish. Fresh health glowing on her face. With that,
I need either a haircut or to go full-on ponytail. I am going to be going full-on ponytail. That is the plan. It's not quite long enough to do that yet, so, you know.
more innocent bloodshed.
Oh god, I'm the rogue.
Priestess's eye will not stop until
We're all gonna die.
to the entry.
Hey, Marching Kid. Whoa. Dang, that was quick. 222 points of slash damage. That'll do it.
So anybody got some scrolls other than myself? Just to know which one I bring up first.
Good morning, James and Adrian over on Facebook. Appreciate that.
Okay.
While I'm... Oh, there we go. Take that. Thank you. Let me check the bonuses for the weekend. You think I'd be prepared for this. I do this every week, but...
A voice curses in scornful tones nearby. That one drow warrior, clearly a superior,
Coming around the corner.
gives orders to the others in makeshift quarters.
She's coming in.
Okay. Alright, not bad. double crafting XP weekend. That's what it is for this weekend. Ah, gosh darn it.
Whoops.
Whoa. I am so unqualified to be the rogue. I haven't played a rogue in a while. Well, actually, that's not true. On Thelanos, I do that. So, good time to do your Kenneth crafting. Ah, there we go. That's where he went. I was told at level 20 I could start a second life. Was thinking wizard. I am a 12th level cleric now. What would you suggest? Well, ultimately, it's all really pretty good. I think if you want to play a wizard after a cleric life, you could. If you really feel like kind of min-maxing it and synergizing, it's worth taking a look at what the cleric past life benefits are, and then trying to synergize that with your next class choice. Yeah, I too am personally looking forward to this Kenneth Crafting XP weekend. I am planning to take advantage of this. Should be nice. Should be nice. Oh. Yeah, if we can, just beat her up. When is the next Kenneth Crafting Mats boost? Geez, that's a good question. We haven't done one of those in a long time. They're not particularly popular, so that's part of the reason why. But nice. Alright, get both chests.
But she was not the last drow priestess, and these were not the last innocents to be lost.
Cleric to Wizard would work well. Just use acid spells because you get a bonus to Conjuration from the Cleric Past Life, Marching Kid says in Twitch chat. That sounds good. I have to admit, when I do Past Lives, I tend to just be more, what do I want to play next, rather than synergize with Past Lives. But that's just me. Your mileage may vary. Where is everyone? I never really used Nyax a whole lot as a cleric. I tend to go more necrospec on my clerics just because I find destruction and undeath to death to be such an important tool in my toolbox. But that's just me. Alright, what are we hanging around for? Well, why don't we get over to the next quest, huh? Any chance of a future psionic class? It's possible. It's definitely not something that, we're announcing or anything like that. But it is possible. I know Sev in particular has a real interest in doing, psionics and something like a soul knife, something like that. But it's definitely not on our short-term agenda here. Short-term agenda is getting Ravenloft out, ASMR, and, that'll pretty much carry us through to the end of the year. We're going to have the Mimic Festival ready to go fairly soon as well. I believe the work to get that taken care of is also in 36 patch 2. It sounded like I said ASMR. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be a very different game in the near future. Everyone's just going to talk like this. It'll be the quietest action game on the planet. Any Ravenloft Cleric FSF favored soul news this week? Yes! In case you missed it, we are working on 36 patch 2. That will include the domains and the favored soul work, and really the final dev work and QA work on that is happening this week. Probably when we get back from the Labor Day break on Monday, we're going to pull a build, and assuming that all checks out, it should go to Lamania hopefully by the end of next week. So you will be able to see for yourself the domain work, and that hopefully by the end of next week on Lamania. And then it'll go live, within a relatively soon time frame after that. Do we finally get the Mimic event this year? Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like it. That should be, like I said, if everything checks out for update 36 patch 2, we should have that in time for, I don't know, sometime before the end of the year. New items. A new loot system as well. It's going to be much more straightforward. Really just kind of a matter of earn the ingredients, use the ingredients to buy a thing, rather than having sort of a random thing to random card to item system. Is there a new favored soul tree with the other changes? No. We basically had to allocate what we were going to work on, and we chose to do some other work besides. Actually, no. Is that true? Actually, I might be wrong about that. I'm not sure. I know some work was done. I'm not sure if it's ready for 36.2 or not, though. Let me check.
The village is very quiet. Even the air is still. An unnatural chill hangs in the air. Something is very wrong here.
Any updates to Night Revels this year? I do think we'll see a small amount of work on Night Revels. Frankly, some of the other work we're doing, like Ravenloft, is sort of pushing out our ability to do a lot of Night Revels work this year. But I do think there'll be a little something. Okay, so... yeah, I don't see the new favorite sultry in there. Okay, I was correct. No new favorite sultry. It's being worked on, but it's just not ready to go yet. Yeah, it's going to be a much more straightforward thing. You kill mimics and you're going to get an ingredient, then you'll collect enough of those ingredients to pick up an item with the Barter UI. Just real straightforward stuff. We liked the card system, it was fun, but it really just... I don't know. The way it came about was sort of just due to a circuitous series of events. And it doesn't really make sense to have that kind of system for the Mimic Hunt. We need scary it clowns. Yeah. This is going to be the year of the creepy clown, huh? So I actually watched, I was, you know, someone pointed out that it seems like you're always talking about garage sales, and it's true. I do talk about that a lot, don't I? But I was at a garage sale recently, and I picked up It, the original television miniseries on DVD, you know, the one with Tim Curry, and watched it. It was pretty fun. The fashion definitely dates it, let me put it to you that way. But it was fun. Yeah, I mean, we like the card system too because it is just kind of a neat mechanic, but it makes more sense to get the random cards and then use that to, you know, when you get a certain number of random cards, you turn it in for a thing, rather than you get a certain number of things, or you get random things that you then turn into random cards, that you then turn into random items, you know what I mean? It was like a double random thing. You know, that's a good question, though. I really don't think there are clowns in D&D. You would think. I mean, we have flumps, we have gelatinous cubes, we have all sorts of things, but yet D&D has never had evil clowns that I'm aware of. Isn't that strange? I guess whoever did, you know, Gygax and crew at the time must have just been, nah. No clowns in D&D. You'd have court jesters, but that would be kind of the closest. I still want to, if combining 2 servers for more people. I'm on Caneth. Geez, I've talked about that so much. But no, we don't have any plans to do a server merge at this time. If we were to do it, it would be a very significant engineering task. And we have some other things that are just much higher in priority. I think if we were to redesign the game from the ground up, we would have put that into a higher priority so that perhaps it would be something we could do more easily. But given the current state of the way DDO works, it just wouldn't work well. There's too many things that don't really fit with the server merge. They're going to need to be addressed. Everything from like airships to names to past lives. Like I say, it's not one thing, it's just kind of a combination of everything. Any plans to update the graphics? No, not really. I mean, Roy's looking to make the game as nice looking as we can, but some kind of like top to bottom graphic overhaul of the game is just, that would be called DDO 2, and it's not something we've announced. You could play a... See, I knew that as soon as I said that, someone was going to correct me. You are right. So, Draculetta, you can play a clown in D&D Forgotten Realms Supplement City of Gold. Okay. Obviously, I'm not familiar with that one. I like it, a clown amuck in the sewers. Could be called It Came from the Sewer. Oh, Hephaestus. So, I actually noticed you're in chat here, and I have a question for you. A couple weeks ago, you had asked whether I'd be willing to put a link to your live stream efforts in the Chronicle, and I'd be happy to do that, and you sent me a message somewhere with a link, but I went to put together the DDO Chronicle yesterday, and I couldn't for the life of me find it. So I don't know where you sent that in on, whether it was Facebook or the forums or Twitter or what, but I've totally lost it. So I'd be happy to include you in the Chronicle, but please resend me the link. I went to a Twitch page with the name as spelled in chat here, and it looked like an unused page. There was no videos on it or anything. So I must not have it right. But I'm not sure who, like what the link is supposed to be. So it was Discord. Okay, thank you. I was looking for that, and I was like, where the heck was that? Alright, if it's on Discord, I'll find it then. That's cool. No, Darkhaven Brave. Basically asking about a server merge. Couldn't we just have sort of a one LFM system, so when you join an LFM, you just port over to the other server? Nah. Our game is just not engineered in any way to make that possible. Sorry. You're new to D&D. Oh, very cool. That's great. Oh, so hey, I'm actually curious. How many of you have checked out D&D Beyond? It's Wizards of the Coast through Curse through Twitch. It's their new online 5th edition toolset. I signed up for it just the other day because I'm doing my pen and paper campaign part 1 of 3 this Friday. And I thought it'd be fun to just sort of play around with the tool set and see how it all works. And I've been digging it so far. It's not like Roll20 or something where you can just easily broadcast straight from it or anything like that. It's more of an online compendium. But it does have a decent character builder on it. It is overall pretty cool. I also noticed that if you're like me and you mostly do homebrew, like in terms of your own self-made dungeons and stuff, you don't really need to get the DM tier, even if you're a DM. The only thing you really need the DM tier for is to share official content, officially purchased content with other players in your group. If all you're doing is basically just doing your own maps and your own stuff, then you can really get away with just doing the, I think, hero tier, which is like $3 a month. I think right now they're doing like $26 a year, which I think is quite inexpensive. And I've been really digging it. So, curious what you guys' thoughts are on it, if you've been checking it out at all. I'm hoping at some point in the future here they kind of expand it into a little bit of a broadcasting system, similar to like Fantasy Grounds and Roll20. But for now, you know, it's certainly nice, and it has really the one thing that I really liked about D&D Insider back in the day, which was they make it really easy to quick roll characters, and that's always something I've always appreciated about Insider, and now I'm glad to see here with D&D Beyond. I'll give it to you guys, you really killed the locks, especially from level 2 to 13. I do not like multi-classing, and I am a triple with 30 Reaper past lives. The dice that got lowered in light is really bad. Not just saying, not complaining. Man, is that... I don't know. I mean... No, I appreciate your opinion on it. In my experience... Warlocks are under no means very much nerfed. They're definitely weaker than they were at those heroic levels you mentioned, but they're still just sort of one button killing machines, in my experience. Like I say, your mileage may vary. I have not found them to be particularly difficult. Or super nerfed, I should say. They definitely are scaled back at those levels, though. I will give you that. Okay, let's stop, collaborate, and listen. Kill some things, get rid of the red.
Don't believe it's in that direction, Ma. I think it's over here, right? It's on this side of the waters.
Come close to the edge so I can see if I can cast a res on you.
I'm a little far back from the edge. Hey, Resliz, would you come back to the group? Oh, that's where we're actually going. I think you died because of the Vanilla Ice reference. Nice. Will there ever be a raid that is very long, like that requires a lot of teamwork? I think so. I mean, I would argue that Vaughn 5 and 6 can be that. I would argue that Riding the Storm Out can be that. Alright. Alright. If anyone is over by the temple, Chris and crew, can you please get back, some cereal, can you please get back so that we can get there as a group?
I'll cast a hail on your way.
Titan is short. Yeah, Titan can be pretty short. Well, Titan pre-raid requires teamwork, and that's not that short. But I hear you. I think you're right that once everyone's very familiar with the Titan, it can be a fairly short raid. But until you get to that point, I think it's actually not a 10 to 30 minute quest. Oh yeah, yeah, right, the Thunderholm raids are particularly, Temple of the Deathworm requires some time and coordination. I too, it's really funny you mentioned that. Someone in YouTube chat, Bruce Shepard, and by the way, I've been watching your videos, good stuff, saying, I wish DDO had the Isle of Dread, Old Expert Adventure. A DDO Jurassic Park would be a lot of fun. Yes, I too. We were actually talking about that as a group the other day when we went out for dinner, about classic packs and all that sort of thing, and I agree, Isle of Dread would be awesome. It would be a big project, though, because we don't have dinosaurs in DDO. I mean, presumably you do something like the Dragon Rig for them, but still, it would be a big project, but Isle of Dread would be rad. Yep. Thanks, Mark, for stopping by on Facebook. Isle of Dragons. Nice. Everyone knows I still want Pharaoh, Desert of Desolation, Lost Tomb of Martek. I would like Land Beyond the Magic Mirror and Adventureland. I would like, well, Tomb of Horrors, of course. I would say Ravenloft, except, hey, we're getting that one. Oops.
They were examining a satchel before you interrupted. Maybe it has a clue. This is Anna's backpack. She's definitely been through here. As you search through it, you've begun to make a dent against the suffering the drow have caused.
Oops. I guess my disable's not high enough. Open lock. Yay! I can open lock it at least. Yeah.
Oh, you're bad.
Yeah, well, I don't have any gear, any appropriate gear at this point. See, I like Isle of Dread not because of the dinosaurs, but just because it's it is a very classic pack and one that's kind of near and dear to my heart.
Voices beyond the door.
When am I coming back to Caneth? It's going to be a while. So I got Orion, Sarlona, Thelanis, Wayfinder, Arganesson. Yeah, I really do need some gear. I think I'm dealing with like a +7 disable. What is my scores at this point? Disable is 46. Open lock is 45. So, you know. I could add 13 or whatever sick number to that right now. 15, actually. Right? Oh yeah, I'd be into Expedition for the Barrier Peaks. That would be really hard, though. If I were... Like, I remember the first edition, Expedition to the Barrier Peaks. It was a huge map with a lot of kind of rooms that really weren't about doing anything. I mean, it was just really a big exploration rather than, say, a directed quest. So in terms of plot, there really isn't much of one. So it would take a lot of work, I think, to bring it in, because you'd have I mean, it would be just such a huge map. I don't know that Expedition really makes sense for DDO. I'm not opposed to it. But then you also have laser guns and stuff, and, you know, how would you make it only in Expedition to the Barrier Peaks? But what happens if you tried to carry it out? You'd have to have some kind of mechanic where you could use them in the quest, but not afterwards, which we have, but still, I don't know. It would be a challenge in many ways. And given the large number of wouldn't it be awesome ifs in terms of classic packs, I just don't see Expedition to the Barrier Peaks making the cut. Oh, Ghost Tower of Inverness. I'd like that one too. Really, the Burning City isn't that bad. I was actually just running that the other day with Even on the Streamin' with Even stream on Sunday. And it's really not that bad. Once you get the hang of it, it doesn't take that long. Oh yeah, okay. Ah. I'm trying to remember what little disable item I have. Where is it? Maybe that's my problem. I don't even have one. Oh yeah, I got a +10. Okay. Ah. Will guilds go past level 200 in the future? Probably. No real immediate plans to do that. But I would say at some point, I think, you know, there has been some kind of real sort of preliminary talk about maybe doing more guild work in 2018. And were we to do something like that, I think, potentially. We could. Yeah, through the Looking Glass space modules. That's what I'm talking about. It's Adventureland and Land Beyond the Magic Mirror. And those are two of my personal favorites. Because I like silly, as everyone well knows. I really enjoy Silly. And apparently dying a lot in this quest. But yeah, those are two great ones. I love those. Yep. Oh right, Black Razor. That reminds me. White Plume Mountain. Yeah, because that actually had sentient weapons in there. Yep. Why do I think there is such a huge Twitch following for World of Warcraft but not DDO? A lot of it really just kind of comes down to, let's say 5% of your audience is into watching a Twitch stream. That 5% for them is exceptionally high. Compared to DDO. But we're doing a lot better. I mean, if you think about where we were just a couple of years ago as opposed to where we are now, there's a lot more DDO being streamed than there used to be. What would be the aim of taking a guild over level 200? Just bragging rights. It would just be all about bragging rights. Because 150 is really, you know, the peak. Oh, speaking of which, it looks like actually on Friday we might be live streaming the Flower Sniffers of Destiny, the guild I'm in on Thelanis. We're actually going to hit 150 come Friday, most likely. And that's cool. Yeah, the arties are going to be better. Yeah, against the Giants would be really cool as well. I agree. Against the Giants would be a lot of fun. Is it something DDO wants to be on Twitch, or it doesn't matter? Yeah, we want it. We want it to the extent that it does kind of bring in some word of mouth. You know, people watch people having fun playing it, and then they check out the game. And we have seen that. I mean, that's really part of what the impetus of creating and maintaining DDO stream is to facilitate the growth of DDO on Twitch. When are we going to see some Epic Reaper XP increases? It's...
No more of your tricks. Now tell me, how did you cast that magic? That was no ordinary spell.
I don't know. It just happened.
No matter. You and your magic belong to me.
It's not in 36.2, so should hopefully happen, you know, relatively soon. We want to increase some of the XP available for Reaper in the higher levels. It's just one of those things we haven't really had time to get to. I'm just gonna let the arties plunk that person.
Now that she's no longer forced to attack you, Anna looks both relieved and dismayed. She timidly asks you,
Please, Get this collar off of me.
Yeah, I don't, you know, we definitely don't have plans for guild castles. We have a real robust airship system right now, and I just don't see us sort of doing a whole new system for castles, but it would be cool. Open. Speaking of Reaper, you saw the DDO forum post in which someone screenshotted their unlocking the Reaper wings. I did. Someone unlocked tier 3 and now has the Reaper wings. Do I know if that's the first person to unlock Reaper tier 3? I don't. We haven't done an info poll yet to see if that's true, but under the assumption that if you unlock it, you would want people to know about it, I have not heard of anyone else unlocking tier 3 yet. It's possible some people maybe found ways to farm Reaper XP and did it, and they're just being quiet because they don't want people to know they cheated their way to it. But as far as I'm aware, that's the first one that I've seen unlocking the Reaper wings, and I think that's pretty awesome. It's very cool. We do not have the capability to do leaderboards for Reaper XP on every server. Our API system just is basically long since dead, and that's what would be required for any kind of leaderboard. Could we increase the level cap at some point? We could. Could. No real plans to do that, but we could. I mean, to some extent, we're sticking with D&D where it goes up to 30, but we could.
We'd never have come here, never have been ambushed, and I'd never have known I had this magic.
Any word on true reincarnation? We are actively working on a long-term solution to the true reincarnation issue. What happens is very rarely, but very significantly, some people lose items and gear when they true reincarnate. There are some things that can help. We most often see it right now when people immediately TR or ER and then racial reincarnate. But we don't actually see it very much. We have not actually seen an increase in these reports, despite maybe forum chatter being particularly loud right now. But when it does happen, it's a very serious issue, and one that it is a fairly complex or fairly lengthy customer service issue to fix. So what we're working on is we have a couple engineers, one engineer in particular who is working on a long-term solution to it. And we're not yet ready to announce what that is going to be. We don't want to set any expectations as to how we're going to deal with it, and we don't want to really discuss it before we're ready. But work is underway on a sort of redesigning the reincarnation system to hopefully eliminate this issue long term. Nope. Flexers, we're not going to make it easier to get the Reaper point system. It's a lot of XP to get. Yep. Working as intended. It is not meant to be a short-term system. It's not meant to be a system most people even get to unlock all the tiers of. That's just the way it is.
Not till all come. Another rest shrine. If we get separated, let's meet back here.
Did DDO ever offer lifetime subscriptions in the past? Not for sale. We have had a couple of giveaways where we did lifetime VIP subscriptions as a giveaway. I know that we did it, like I personally gave one away every day of Gen Con, and I guess that was 2013 or whatever that was, 2014 maybe. And I know that we've done a few lifetime VIPs for contests. I know we had a forum contest once and things like that. So we have done it very, very rarely on the DDO side. But we've never sold lifetime VIP for DDO.
You know, I'm scared to go home now. With these powers, what if I hurt my friend? What if I kill Torin? And if I don't go home? I can fight. That's what I can do. I can master this magic. It will help me, and I'll use it against the power because everything is dead and gone anyway, unless they're stopped.
Another drow magical barrier.
We have also not really seriously considered monster player races. You know, it would be fun if we could just sort of, if it was an easy thing to just say, yeah, you can play a troll or something like that, but it's nothing we've really seriously considered bringing to DDO.
At the back of the ruined banquet hall stands a strange creature, part drow and part spider. The monster doesn't seem the least bit disturbed by your arrival.
Is Ravenloft going to be based off i6 and i7 modules? It's going to be, I think, a mix. You know, for many people, i6 is the definitive version of Ravenloft, but there's also a fairly large group that considers Ravenloft to be the campaign setting, you know, from, say, 2nd edition and onwards. And so I think our goal is to really tell our own version of Ravenloft while sticking strongly to sort of the classics of Ravenloft. So it's not going to be specifically one or another version, like one version over another. Rather, I think we're going to try to make everyone happy, hopefully, and really hit the highlights of much of it. Up to and including even the new stuff. But having seen some of the work already, I can tell you that if in particular you are a fan of i6, I think you're going to be happy. I hope so, but I think so. We haven't really had any serious plans to update the Titan raid. At this point, we're really focusing on newer content rather than revamping older content. It's not to say we never will, but it's just, we had done that for quite some time, revamping older packs. And at this point, we're really focusing more on newer stuff. Yes, we will have a new wilderness area in Ravenloft. What would it take to make the Abbot's Sigil a permanent item? Work to do it. I hear ya. I don't know that we actually have a whole lot of interest in people running the Heroic Abbot raid at this point, but those of you who are out there would sure love to see that. Can't say I blame you. The challenge with the flagging is we're looking at really a pretty old code and an old raid, so I don't think it's going to be, you know, a couple hours work on the part of a dev to redo the flagging for Abbot. I think it would be a little bit opening a can of worms, but it would be nice. You know, that's an interesting idea, making it as a reward option for completing the Abbot. That's cool. I like that idea. That might be a little easier. When will Ravenloft be on the Mania? Jeez. Good question. Alright, it is 1 o'clock here, so I'm going to have to call it. I am going to get you guys a DDO points code in the in-game mail system. Thank you very much for carrying me through the quests here, and I'll be back on Friday, probably wrapping up the rest of the work here.
Okay, take care.
Thank you very much.
Let's see, any last questions? Isn't some of the original dev team back at work now? Yes, that is correct. We have, you know, Toruk and Nobob, Knockback, El Dorito, you know, quite a few folks actually who have been on the team for quite some time here. So, all right, thank you very much for watching the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. We do have shows all week long, and you can find our schedule on the Twitch page. These videos get archived as well on Twitch and YouTube. We'd love it if you'd give us a follow on Twitch. Let your friends know about us, and check out the stream when you can. Could also give us a subscribe on YouTube to get these videos in your subscription feed. And like us on Facebook. You'll get the videos there as well. Alright, thank you very much. I'll be back again on Friday for Friday afternoon. Have fun.